Hey there, everyone. This is Chaotic Teal, and welcome back to Twilight Princess HD. It's been a bit. It's been a bit. But I wanted to finally get back to it. My semester started the other day. Got stuff going on, but I'm also trying to get back onto at least a somewhat regular schedule. I would have streamed last night, but I had a day 2 90-minute class, so here we are. Last time, we got to the Forest Temple. Finally. Look at that, it's the Forest Temple. Look at that, it's a bat. And it's bravely put away your sword in the face of danger. Now I have to remember how to play this game, which is an unfortunate side effect of taking unexpected breaks for 2 months. Have slingshot and shoot spiders. Maybe I should get a slingshot. I've been having a sitcom rivalry with a particularly nasty looking spider in the last few days. I am somewhere between extremely uncomfortable and very afraid of spiders. Right, this is not Skyward Sword. So, seeing a spider in an unexpected place is enough to completely throw off my day. And bonk. This one that I have been having a rivalry with happened to be on the door downstairs. Am I voicing dialogue? I think I am. Hey, that's the monkey that stole your lantern. Doesn't it look like she's beckoning you? Aren't you the popular one? We'll get there. We'll get there very soon, because there's nothing else to look at in here. So, anyway, sitcom rivalry with a spider. It was just menacingly chilling in the doorframe leading outside, which is right behind where my normal working space is. So, not fun. And it kept staying, like, right in the door frame such that I couldn't hit it with anything. Yeah, I don't know, these just... Spatulas do not compete with frostbite spiders in terms of how terrifying they are. Alright, these wacky things. So, the other day, Spider just kept hiding in places. I could never get it out to a place that I could actually hit it with something. But today I came back in from getting the mail, and it was on the ceiling. Which is the worst place for a spider to be, for the record. Because nobody looks at the ceiling. Okay, what do you want, Minda? Look at all the torches. Is this some kind of altar? Wait, why am I asking you? How would you know? Right, I have a lantern. Standing here like, what am I supposed to do? Lantern. Use the lantern that you have. Ah, excellent. So, without thinking too hard about the spider that was definitely above my head for a minute, I picked up a shoe and I picked up the spray bottle we use for the dogs. And I sprayed the stupid spider until it fell down, landed on the floor, where I could whack it with the shoe. Rude. Oh, what's going on? Has there been a monkey fight? Oh no, now we can't go any farther. Might as well go back. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like she wants you to follow her somewhere. She seems like she wants to take you somewhere, so maybe you should just follow her. So yeah, my several-day sitcom rivalry with a spider was finally resolved in a resounding victory for me. Which is the best way to resolve a conflict with a spider. Those look like they blow up. Nice. Oh, wait, I remember this. Phew. How'd it last? Gracious. Once I got in there, I couldn't squeeze back out. You were a big help. Thanks. I've been looking for something in here, you see. Gracious, yes. You must need something here, too. Shall we try working together for a while, fellow adventurer? I can even warp you out of here if you want to leave. You'll be able to come back to the same room anytime you want. I can be quite helpful, you see. So, don't think of me as a burden. Now, let's get started. Link is not convinced. But, yeah, Uko is essentially this game's version of Furora's Wind. No. Get away. So, if we use Uko, we could get back out to the entrance and then use Uko again to teleport back to the room that we left, which is super nice. Okay, friendo, I don't have a key, so you're gonna have to be patient. Wandering in circles. Forgetting how Zelda games work. It is a weird feeling, being back to playing a proper Zelda game. I mean, I played the Link to the Past Super Metroid combo randomizer for Extra Life, but I spent most of my time playing Metroid because I could actually do things in Metroid. And also because I got lost. Let the record show, though, that since Saturday I have finished Super Metroid normally, and I am now close to finishing Fusion. So, I've finally been able to get into Metroid. Oh, excellent. This is not Metroid, and thus things don't respawn as soon as I leave a room. Can you tell that I'm rusty? Not the bridge. These are the worst cages, by the way. I keep wanting to, like, shield bash, but that's not a thing I can do. It's because of Skyrim, isn't it? Gosh darn it. mean, you can also shield bash in, like, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, so it's not exclusively a Skyrim thing. But that's what I've been playing most recently. Okay, no, some things do respawn. It's not the large spider. I don't have an issue with that. Okay, we going this way now? We going this way now. Cool. Yeah, no. No, you're supposed to die when you're killed. I don't like it when I trim the weeds and then the weeds try to kill me. Could have gone better. The important thing is, the spooky plant would have tried to grab me if I had jumped over it. So, we need to make sure that it can't do that. This goes back to the outside. I don't feel like we can make that jump. I could be wrong, though. That didn't go as far as I wanted it to. No, we cannot. Okay. Well, now we know. Anyway, let's make this jump. Oh. Come on, buddy. Which is a term I use very loosely in this instance. You can tell this room is important because the ambiance is spooky. Also, there's a monkey in jail, which is a substantially better way to trap a monkey. Oh, good, that's the key. Yeah, I'd really prefer not to deal with floor tiles that want me dead. Granted, this game's approach to the floor tiles that want you dead is different from elsewhere in the series. Back in my day, we just used magic to fling floor tiles at you. Okay. There is only one of you. Yeah, again, I think it's partly the color scheme. Though it also helps that spatulas aren't really much of a threat. They're not negligible. But oh, cool, we can hold more than 200. They're not deadly. Yeah. We don't currently have the time for that. That's not going to work. I wonder if we have enough monkeys to make it across the bridge that is now out. Is that a 3-monkey bridge? It appears not to be a 3-monkey bridge. Given the monkeys are just staring blankly into the middle distance and not jumping up to help with bridge. Though it does now occur to me that I didn't properly check the other door. Where is this? Not past you. Oh, yes it is. Oh, no. No, it isn't. There we go. Environmental awareness is a skill that I often struggle with. This is not to my benefit when I attempt to play games like Zelda and Metroid. Okay, listen here, giant plant thing. Okay, that's not cutting it. Well, that didn't do nothing. What if I simply just give it the bomb flower as an offering? Well, not bomb flower. Bomb bug. What the heck are these things called? It's not impossible that this game's answer to bomb chews, but the chew in Bomb Chew is the same as the chew in Pikachu, in that it is onomatopoeia for the sound a mouse makes. Also the sound a kiss makes. But these things are neither mouse nor capable of kissing. Well, I guess they've got the little, like... No, that's its eyes. That's its eyes and its little antenna. I don't think it's a bomb chew. Majora's Mask has an enemy that I'm fairly certain is just called the real bomb chew, which is a mouse with a bomb attached to its tail. Oh, hey. Oh, that's a piece of art. I keep expecting that I'm going to come across one of the Wii U exclusive collectibles, because I know there's at least one in here. While I have the nice shiny... That side's not shiny, this side is shiny. Guide for Twilight Princess. It's the nice shiny guide for Twilight Princess on the Wii and GameCube, because this is from the box set that came out in 2014? Or the... do you... No, 30th was 2019. No. The heck did this come out? Give me a moment. Okay, you're not helpful. Was it 2013? It was 2013. Which I don't think actually corresponded to an anniversary. Because... that was... Skyward Sword came out in 2011. And that was released for the 25th anniversary of the series. Yeah, and the Zelda Game & Watch came out in 21. That was 35. At this point, I think it's just kind of funny that I'm sitting here trying to think back about anniversaries of this game series. Meanwhile, these four monkeys are just yelling at me. Okay, 4-monkey bridge? 4-monkey bridge. So I've been thinking. With Echoes of Wisdom coming out next month, and really just thinking about other games that are getting remakes. And game remakes in general, I guess, because I'm playing Metroid Fusion, I'm planning to play Zero Mission next. Ordered a copy of Samus Returns. The Dragon Quest remakes are coming out. Remakes are a big thing, and I feel like games are some of the maybe not most legitimate or only legitimate, but compared to, say, a movie where remaking a movie might mean using better technology or altering stories or events or taking the same concept in a different direction. Remaking a game means delivering on the underlying experience of the original, but on new hardware and to people who haven't necessarily played it. We'll get back to this. I am the Fairy of Winds, who resides in this boomerang. You have freed me from evil, and now have my true power back. Please, take it with you. Use it to aid your quest. May both my power and my blessing go with you. If you focus power in your boomerang before releasing it, it will unleash the power of wind, aiding you in unforeseen ways. Ready for the Gale Boomerang. One of the cooler ways that they've included a boomerang in the series. I bet even the monkeys should be satisfied now. Okay, let's continue combing this place. Already found something good, so let's keep searching places we haven't looked yet. Anything exciting in here? Not really. Did I just miss the torch the first time? No, it's just slow. There we go. Anyway, yeah. A video game remake, ideally, should deliver a similar experience to the original game, but with changes to graphics and potentially game design to bring it in line with modern games. And as much as gosh darn it, Minda. Well, I guess there are still some monkeys you haven't freed yet. At this point, you should just save them all and see what you can get for it. Thanks, Minda. The only 2D Zelda game that we've gotten an actual remake of is Link's Awakening. Link to the Past is a weird case, because I still can't shield bash. I don't know, I would consider the Game Boy Advance version of Link to the Past a port. It looks almost the same, it functions almost the same. How did that do none of what I wanted it to? Is it because I went for the items and not the webs? Probably. Hooray for money. There's the compass. Well, if it isn't something useful. As long as you have that, you should be able to find where the captured monkeys are, right? Midna, I don't think you know how a compass works. Fortunately for you, neither does this series. I do want to try and get 100% in this playthrough. I've mentioned that before, but it's been a while. So... at least I think I have. At the present moment, I want to get 100%. Horrible little things. I would be comfortable saying that we've moved beyond the need for an exterminator and onto an exorcist. Rude. I mean, I guess that was rude to them, but... the thing is, I don't particularly care. Shiny object. Another piece of heart. The point of all this remake talk is, while I would love to see the Oracle games or Minish Cap get remakes, and I think I'm not the only one who expected the next thing that Link's Awakening remake art style to be, well, would be used for, to be an Oracle remake. I'm not upset that we're getting a new 2D Zelda game. It's the first completely new top-down Zelda since Triforce Heroes. And while it's not fair to say that Triforce Heroes isn't a real Zelda game, because it is, and it's not even a bad game if you've got people to play it with. Structurally, I'm not a huge fan of it. But it's not bad. The other thing it isn't is a traditional Zelda game. There we go. We found the stamp for... Ah! Which is noteworthy because... When Miiverse existed, we could use these as stamps for images. But, da-da-da-da. Where can I get back on land? There we go. Yeah, Echo's Wisdom looks great. I am extremely excited for it. The thing that I've been trying to get my brain to get to... Oh, did I just... Whoops. Hooray for 10 rupees. Stairs. The thing I've been trying to get my brain to get to is that I would love Zelda 2 remake. I think that Zelda 2 suffers from it being a weird game. And being a weird game on the NES, where technical limitations and just... Okay. Oh, I actually need to go back. Technical limitations and especially difficulty were particularly severe. I mean, I don't know that I have ever beaten Zelda 2 without save states, and I don't really care to. Everyone's tastes are different, but I don't think it's I don't think it's any secret that NES games were frequently difficult for the sake of padding out time and just accounting for less available space. A game cartridge couldn't hold that much data, so to make a game purchase worthwhile, the game had to be hard enough and it would take you a long time to beat it. Hello? Not sure what that was about. No, we don't want to go this way. Wait! Okay, well... This is what we want to do. Gotta... And particularly because game design had not been codified as much as it has now. A lot of NES games rely on difficulty that isn't fair. And when I say it isn't fair, I mean that it relies on things that a player who doesn't know exactly what they're getting into couldn't possibly account for. Things that don't give any indication of what they're going to do and cost the player a lot. Or enemy patterns that are unavoidable. Things like that. There's a difference between difficult and unfair. So... sounds like I need to collect my dog. So give me just a moment. We moved him into my room over the weekend, so he lives here now. Anyway. What was I saying? Difference between difficult and unfair. Oh. I just didn't remember where that was. Not all of Zelda 2's decisions are fair to the player. But mechanically, it's a fascinating game. And it's one that very few other games have tried to replicate. Because at the time, it was a little bit clunky. It was difficult. Do I have any keys? I don't think I have any keys. I cannot open you. I do not have keys. Really, the only games that I can think of that try to build on Zelda 2 are Chibi Night and its sequel. Which I actually played the sequel to Chibi Night. That was, I think, the first indie intermission stream I did. Like 8 years ago. I guess in order for us to check the temple out completely, we need to help the monkeys. Or we need the help of the monkeys. Oh well. Let's help the rest of them. Thanks, Midna. And Chibi Night is good, and Super Chibi Night is better. From my memory of playing the first game over a decade ago, and the second almost a decade ago. And some games have taken bits and pieces of... Oh. That's not the slingshot. Some games have taken bits and pieces of what Zelda 2 did. The biggest one I can think of is the downstab, which in Zelda 2 allows you to bounce off of enemies. Not only has that been the inspiration for Link's down aerial attack in every Smash Bros. Game, but that was one of the inspirations that Yacht Club cited for Shovel Knights. Shovel Pogo. I don't remember what the move is actually called. Nice. I just think that RPG and platformer haven't been mixed enough. And maybe that's not quite the right way to put it, because, I mean, depending on how you look at it, a lot of the exploration-focused Castlevania games are platformer RPG mixes. Okay, that's where the key icon is. But specifically the way that Zelda 2 mixes the exploration, the platformer, and the RPG. That hasn't been done enough. Stop hitting ZL when I need to hit ZR. I really just need to... There. Because the problem is that I use the same finger for R and ZR. At least that's how I naturally use the gamepad and other similar controllers. So it just doesn't quite work. Okay. Should be one monkey left. I have to hold the button, but somehow that worked. Overall, I think I just... I'd like to see an indie game or something take that on. I've thought about it. I've actually... Somewhere in my files, I have the beginnings of a prototype that's intended to sort of combine the gameplay styles of Zelda 2 and the NES Castlevania games. Because the combat in Zelda 2 is extremely interesting. It's just limited by game mechanics and being an NES game. But I think that... Hello? Please focus on the giant spider that's right in front of you and not the tiny spider that's on the wall. I think combining the general gameplay of Zelda 2 with the sub-weapons in Castlevania, that could be really interesting. So, you know, original concept, do not steal. Or do, I'm not your dad. It's not like multiple games can't use the same general mechanics. It's not like multiple games can't be inspired by the same game. I mean, look at all of the indie games that are directly built from the DNA of top-down Zelda. There are so many. And part of that is because for a lot of game developers, we make games because we love games. Because we played these games and want to do something like it. Want to put our own spin on it. Whatever that may look like. And Zelda is a series that has inspired a lot of people. A lot of those NES era, well, particularly, if you look at how indie games have progressed, a lot of the earlier indie games I mean, looking at Cave Story and Shantae and Binding of Isaac, those take very clear inspiration from NES games. Because NES games came out when those devs were growing up. Now, we're seeing a lot of indie games that are based more on PS1 era. And we've seen Super Nintendo. In a lot of cases, it's what the developers grew up with. I mean, that's part of why I want to make games like Dragon Quest and top-down Zelda. Because that's what I love. And it does make me sad when people see that a game is clearly taking a lot of inspiration from some other game, and they completely write it off as just a copy. One of my friends just asked me if Final Fantasy VII is good. My answer to that question is complicated. At some point, maybe I'll actually be able to get into the Final Fantasy series. It's kind of funny to me how much I've struggled to get into Final Fantasy. But the same's true for Metroid. And what's funny to me about both of those is I love Dragon Quest. Ah, that's quite big. I love Dragon Quest and I love Castlevania. So you'd think that games which are, by all accounts, cousins, effectively, from a mechanical standpoint, you would think that would just be top of my list. But for whatever reason, I've been able to get into one and not the other. For years. I mean, again, part of the reason I thought it would be funny to play the Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer for Extra Life, besides just involving more games and thus being more chaotic, is that I'm so familiar with Zelda and not Metroid. Until Sunday, I hadn't finished a single Metroid game. Task failed successfully. And yes, I legitimately did start playing Super Metroid right after finishing Extra Life. So, maybe. I picked up the Pixel Remaster collection for Final Fantasy 1 through 6. So again, maybe. We'll see. I don't super want to start a turn-based RPG right now when I'm streaming Super Mario RPG and I've been leaving Persona 3 Reload hanging for like 6 months. Well done. That's what I was looking for. That's a fused shadow. It's what the light spirits call dark power. Do you remember what that spirit said about how you had to match the power of the King of Shadows? Could it really be so easy? Is this all there is to it? There's a total of 3 fused shadows. I think the other light spirits have the rest. If you want to know exactly what fused shadows are, well, maybe I'll tell you if you find the other 2. Guess you'd better do your thing to find them. Huh. So, let's not waste any more time here. We could be looking for the other 2. I'll get you out of here. You pick up the heart container that fell out of that thing. Hooray! Now we have 4. Once we get done with whatever scene follows up exiting the dungeon, I am gonna save and wrap things up for tonight. It's gonna take me some time to get back into... Oh. It's gonna take me some time to get back into the habit of streaming, and streaming for an extended period of time. If you were present for Extra Life, I didn't do so great. I wasn't feeling great, and I got kind of overwhelmed, which is unusual for me. Well, kind of. Long story of physical and mental sensitivities, but it had also been over a month since I had streamed last. Anything. So, of course I was going to be overwhelmed by a big chaotic stream. So yeah, expect some shorter streams for a bit. Especially if I'm getting back up to the consistency I'd like. Anyway. Heroic laundry. Do not think that Hyrule is now saved from the spread of Twilight. Leave these woods and go to the east, where you will find a land protected by the spirit Eldin. There you will find those you seek. Know that these lands lie in Twilight. They are now a dark realm covered by the clouds of dusk. If you set foot beyond the curtain of Twilight, you will revert to your beast form, so be prepared. Hero chosen by the gods, leave these woods and go to the east, to the land of Eldin. That's better. Searching should be much easier now. But, of course, you feel the need to go help the other light spirits, don't you? Well, don't worry. When you turn into a beast again, I'll take good care of you. First thing you need to do is find the land covered in Twilight. Once you do, I'll help you out. See you later. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna save, and we're gonna wrap things up for tonight. Hopefully, depending on my schedule and my getting stuff done. Hopefully, Mario RPG will be back on Saturday. I've got to get back to Sonic Frontiers at some point as well. We'll figure it out. For now, thank you very much for watching. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. Later.